Hello everybody and welcome back to Gavra Racing. My name is Evan and I'm starting at this time, but I am switching the roles once again, joined by my good friend. Who
me?
I just realized,
hello.
I don't know his name, I just realised. But we are live for this qualifying session around the Austrian Grand Prix. And we're very sorry for the delay in the stream, but we were having very serious conversations about... putting year 7s in lockers. But anyway, we get underway here and drivers are on their qualifying laps. And I'm going to hand it over to the main commentator.
Hello. My name's
Mr.
James,
No-Name.
by the way. James, by the way, if you want to know my real name. But we are
That's
live
FBI
now.
information. That's
FBI information, yeah, it is. And yeah, we're just in Austria today, and we've got 15 drivers in today from the Academy League. And if you're watching and you have F1 and you're not in Gavra Racing, what are you doing? Join the Academy League. Get joining. Sign up. There's still spaces available, I believe. Go and check out our social media. I'm now the manager of all of social media pages. So go and check those out. Go and follow our Instagram and Twitter. Go sign up to Patreon on Gavra Racing. Go check out the website. Go and see all the information on there. And yeah, drivers coming in now with some times. 1 minute 6.5 is a very good lap there from a Bruzy,
Very good lap.
who I believe is a new driver. We do actually, once I will get onto it, we do have a few drivers who have got some penalties. That's if they are here. I'm not sure whether they are here. I believe some of them are and some of them aren't, so I have to have a look. But there's a few drivers that have got penalties from last week's race.
Also followed by one on Instagram, cheap plug right there. Syscon's gone quickest, would you believe? And did I really just plug my main page? Oh, Jesus Christ. Syscon's gone quickest with a 106.2, and this is what's called cover-up conversations after making a big mistake live on stream. Brucey actually had a poor race last weekend, RC8, or RC8, as you English might say. Oh, Jesus, I'm just going to shut up, you take off. Oh, dear.
What have you done?
Victor's gone second, last week's winner, I believe.
It was last week's winner, Victor, so we'll have to see whether he can pull out a good time. And Hampton goes first, actually, a 1 minute 6.2, and he beats Syscon by 300ths there, actually, so it's mighty close there between the two drivers.
And that's actually his second lap on those soft tyres. He said the first one, but it was only a 112. So probably made a mistake somewhere along the lines. But there is some drivers setting. That's a slow time of 108.5. Pope still to set a time. Last week's pole sitter.
Last week's pole sitter, and what a lap time it was. It was, I mean, it was a good time, and let's see if there's any other times that can be. See if anyone can beat him there here in Austria. And Austria is a quite fast track, isn't it? It's 1 minute 6.2 is a very quick time, so it's one of the shortest tracks in the calendar, I believe.
We do have a Frozer fan of the comments, Super Game, saying "Come on, Frozer," and we have a Julio fan, Joao Figueira, I believe. I've probably butchered that name, but also watching for Julio's perspective. With all the drivers coming into their pits. Guillaume's set a mediums time, so that's odd to see.
Good. I haven't even got any of my stuff up. I apologise, guys. Sorry, I have to kind of manage stuff and stuff here, so it's... there we go. Fit it. There we go.
We also have a Wibby.
We also have
the Vibe Master. That's who we have in the comments.
Evan, you keep on muting your mic, by the way. Keeps on muting and unmuting.
Oh, well. Oh,
I don't know if that's the problem with it, but it keeps on muting and unmuting when you're in the middle of that conversation. You said a Williams, it just started, you went William, and then you just stopped.
Oh, well, I was just saying, we have a Wibmeister fan, and he said, come on, Wibby, in the comments. So,
come on, Wibby.
If that's a nickname, we'll have to wait and see. But he is actually on the track on an out lap. Oh, somebody's hit the grass. I don't know who that was.
Somebody has hit the grass. I'm sorry, I'm just busy. I'm busy watching a person in the in the pit lane here. Let's have a look at Brucey. Brucey, I believe he's new to the league. I don't think he was in last week's race, was he, Evan? Correct me if I'm
not
wrong.
Quite sure. We'll get a quick check on that quickly. I'm not sure. Was Brucey? Yeah, I recognise the name, but again, I'm not really 100% sure. It was a good race last week, especially with that wet period at the end.
Thank you to all 19 people who have joined us here. Me and Evan will be looking at your comments. Talk about F1 or whatever, and you know.
Brucey was here last week.
Brucey was here last week. Thank you. But quite a few people actually. There's not quite a few people are on Outlaps. Let's have a look actually what time Brucey puts in here, because he's about to come around across the finish line, and he improves by 2 tenths. Doesn't move him high up the table though, but he does improve by 2 tenths.
Still, 5th is better than nothing. Still has a bit of pace.
5th is better than nothing. Yes.
We actually have another Frozer fan, Sam De Jong, saying, "Come on, Frozer," and another the Wibmeister. Sorry, that's a handful. Saying up the Wib. No.
Up
the purest of nuggets has said up the Wib, and Ashley Holton has said, "I literally cannot speak." I don't think you have to. I'm not really entirely sure what's going on there.
Have to, no. I'm just gonna read out quickly while the few drivers are going around the track. Just keep an eye on if anyone puts in a good time here, Evan. These are the penalties for this from last week that are going to be in this race. So after reviewing, I'll just read out the statement here. After reviewing the China GP, stewards penalised the following drivers. Evan, you might know this. Evan?
Julio's gone quickest with a 1:05.6. I'm sorry there, but
good lap from
also
Julio.
another thing that oh no, I'm not saying that name. Somebody's pointed out 1st to 5th was a 10th. It's not now, as it's Julio and Guillaume have broke that. Pope Tabiz has gone 3rd. The Pope's having a good time in his Pope mobile. But anyways, yes, what are you saying, James?
What does LLP2 stand for?
I have no idea.
Okay, I'll just read it out. Okay, so after reviewing the China GP, stewards penalised the following drivers: LLP2 for Mares 1097, who is here today.
Oh, is that license points?
They possibly are license points. It says at the end what I think is going to happen to them. Frozer is on the penalty list. John J. Downey, who I believe is not here. I think that's one of your mates, isn't it?
He's actually running his own league, Apex Corner Racing, and they actually had a Derain Boccolacci race with them today.
Billy Cudley in it. Billy in it is one of your mates as well. He had a penalty.
Not really, but I know of him. And he went on the wets.
He went on the
last
wets.
Race. So I'm not surprised.
He is also. So 2 drivers here, Frozer 96 and Mares 1097, have penalties, which means LLP2 actually here means the drivers have to stay in the box during qualifying. They can get in a track only when 5 minutes left. So those drivers haven't followed that. Oh, Mares has followed that rule, but Frozer hasn't. So I'm not sure whether Frozer has been aware of that penalty. I'm not sure whether he's in the chat or not, Evan, but he should have stayed in the pit lane until 5 minutes left at the end of the session. Mares, I believe Mares is doing that. I'm sure that'll be followed up by Gavra, but I believe Mares has done that, but Frozer should have stayed in the pits. I'm not sure why they got penalties. That's just what I have been given here, the information I've been given.
Seemingly, it's the 10th minute they're allowed to qualify.
According to that statement there, it said 5 minutes.
Probably, but somebody saying in the chat it means they can't qualify until the 5th minute, but then correcting to the 10th minute. So I'm not sure if he's one of the officials or not.
I'm not sure. I'm sure Gavra would be able to clarify that up for us.
That. We have 26 viewers. Oh.
Thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you.
Somebody's looking for a birthday shout out, saying, I'm not sure if this is one of these pranks, but they're looking for shin pad to say happy birthday.
Shin pad shout out, please.
I don't know if that's one of these like Joe Mama kind of things, but
someone's saying
happy birthday
5
if it
minutes
is an
now.
actual person. Yeah.
So, and then someone said it's bad. Yeah, it is bad if they don't follow the penalty rules. I think
It's very bad.
all the drivers should follow penalty rules as constructed. But I'm sure Gavra will have a look at that, and I'm sure anything will be put in place for Froza. But it seems like Mares has followed the rules here, Evan, as he is still in the pit lane, so he'll be coming out probably dead on 5 minutes here just to get out of the pit lane and put in a time here after their penalties.
And that's good respect from Mares to respect the stewards' decisions. I'm not sure what he got that penalty for. Probably
I'm not sure exactly, no. I think there were a few incidents reported in on that first race. I know quite a few were, but I'm not really. I don't have the information on why they got given the penalties. I just know that they were given penalties. Todios, who is ninth at the moment, is egging himself on. He said, "Let's go me." So.
We wish Tony House the best of luck. He's currently 9th on 106.4, setting his time. He's in the pits. Hoping he could improve. Oh, here we go. LLP1 is a 10-minute, and LLP2 is a 10-minute.
Okay. Let me just clarify. I think they both were given an LLP2.
So that could mean...
No. I apologise. Froza has a RRP1.
Okay, so Frozer is allowed to qualify after 10 minutes, and Tonios is 5, I believe. Oh, and RC8's gone quickest with a 105.
Oh, good lap there from RC8, a 1:05. I believe Mares is now out on his outlap, so Mares has followed his LLP2 rule. Frozer, I didn't realise, sorry, I read that wrong. It was an RRP1 that he was given.
Where did they get the names for the penalties? Because you're not just calling it a 10-minute quali ban. Anyways, Connor Palmer saying, can I have the live odds on the Pope spinning off before the end of the second lap?
The live odds on the Popes, what?
Spinning out before the end of the second lap. We believe it's actually now a 5 to 10. We're not sure about that, but I'm sure if you go to an online bookmaker, there might be odds on that.
I'm sure if you go to... Yeah, I'm sure if you do that, they'll give you your odds for you.
Dimitri's Vorlikas. I'm very sorry if I'm wrong with that, but saying an RRP1 is something different. They're the most
possibly
names.
I'll do some research. Give me a second. You just carry on, Evan. I will do
3 minutes 17 left. Anyway,
research.
Well, we find out what an RRP1 is.
An RRP1 is different. So an LLP1 is 5 minutes before. You have to wait until the 5 minute mark in qualifying before you can finish. If I just take a look quickly, just give me a second here, guys.
Hampton starting his lap now. Was on provisional pole a minute ago, and Guillaume's also on a lap. Oh, he is 8/10 up. And there's now a conversation going on about what the odds on the Pope spinning before the end of lap 2.
So apparently, I'll tell you why. I can tell you why Mares was given an LLP2. It's because he started on a different tyre to what his finishing qualifying time was on.
How did he do that? Just 1 second. Guillaume's
thank you, Gavra. Thank you. Okay, yeah, so an LLP1. So he must have had an LLP1, but in the thing it says RRP1.
And somebody just calling the Weinmeister Wyberto Carlos.
Wyberto Carlos, that's good. That's a good one.
The Weinmeister. The Webmeister. That's the most confusing name ever. Definitely getting some of his friends to watch the stream, clearly.
Definitely.
And why is Frozen on the penalty list? We've no idea. We really don't.
We don't know why Frozen. I think it's an LLP1. It's an LLP1, I believe, but it's been put down as an RRP1. But an LLP1 is 10 minutes. Yes.
So he has obeyed the penalty.
So he has obeyed the penalty. Yes.
Connor Palmer saying "wib" as in rib. We did get that joke. Roberto Carlos.
Like he's trying to confirm his joke. Honestly, but I think we should try and restore some order here. Mahrez has been he's obeyed his penalty, but still hasn't put in a time yet. He's had a few invalid laps,
I think.
But he's about to go here and start a lap. RC8 still leading this qualifying session at the moment with 40 seconds remaining, a 1 minute 5.4, a very good lap from him. Only a 10th over Guillaume, who's just come into the pit. So I believe Guillaume will not be able to improve on his time. It's Julio's also on an invalid lap, and I believe that will be his final lap of the session, as he is on now a fresh set of tyres, so he's going to see if he can go up into first. The Pope here, I believe, will not be able to improve because he is also on an invalid lap, as there was only 10 seconds left in this session.
And somebody saying Hampton and Brucey are brothers. I'm not sure if they're blood brothers or what, but that's a fun fact. Thank you, Lucas Della Santi, for confirming that one. Mahrez is actually on a pretty quick lap here. Oh, they are blood brothers, seemingly. That's knowledgeable information. Here comes Mahrez. Oh, he's got
Mahrez has gone in. The man who had a time penalty only had 5 minutes to put a lap in this session has gone pole. A 1 minute 5.0. RC8 can't improve. He's done a 1 minute 4. Guillaume can't improve. He's done a 1 minute 5. A 1 minute 5.5. Sorry, they've all done 1 minute 5.
Julio has invalidated his lap.
And Julio's validated his lap. So the man who had a time penalty, he's just gone round wide. I don't think he's gonna improve. Let's take a look and see what time he puts in. No, it isn't enough. Siscon stays where he is. Can the Wibmeister improve? And improves by 3 tenths. And Victor goes second. Victor with a 1 minute 5.4 gets second place. And what an end to this qualifying session. And wow, Mahrez only had 5 minutes to put a time in and has gone pole here.
What a lap. And Lucas Delasanti saying he's actually Hampton and Brucey's best friend, and he's encouraging them both tonight. And a lot of people saying it is interesting to have brothers racing, and will we get family love or hate on the track? We'll have to wait and see. After where have they qualified? We have, I have no idea, the screen's gone. Brucey 12th and Hampton 9th.
Could you run through the grid for me, Evan? I'll be 2 seconds. Thank you.
On first position, we do have Mahrez, the man who had a 5... wasn't allowed to qualify till 5 minutes. Victor second, the Belgian, with a 1:05.45. RC8 is in third position. Guillaume will start fourth. It's Julio fifth, and Pope Tabiz sixth, and there's odds on him spinning on lap 2. Siscon, or Siskonazer, is in seventh. Tonios will start eighth, with Hampton ninth. The Wibmeister, or Roberto Carlos, will start in... He will start 10th. 11th for Frozier, 12th Brucey, 13th Ellison, 14th Nitromus, and 15th Devil's Agent YT with a 1:07.0. Not the quickest lap from him. We do have Lucas Delasanti saying, by the way, guys, thanks for your passion by entertaining the comments. Thank you very much for that, Lucas. And they did great times, not far from the other league. That's very close, and of course it is the race where the points are counted. Dimitri's, let's see, a clean race. Hopefully a clean race, but an interesting race. And Sam de Jong saying Frozer will win. That's a bold statement.
Hello. I just heard you say Frozer will win, so...
That's a comment from Sam de Jong.
That is a bold statement there.
We do have a compliment by Lucas De La Santi saying thank you for keeping the entertaining comments. And we have somebody French in the chat saying, Tenais Hampton. I should know what that means after doing 2 years of French, but I don't.
I think he looks like he's supporting Hampton 134822. Maybe it means
like a phone number.
Maybe it means go on Hampton or win Hampton or
maybe
Tez Nays. Does Nays maybe win maybe?
I'm really trying to see.
I like the comment from Ashley Holton here. Frozen will not win. What are you smoking? I mean, nothing, quite frankly.
Tenais actually means you're stupid, so you're stupid, Hampton, is what that comment means. Oh well, we'll move on from that, so.
Oh, right, okay. Tenais is stupid. See, I thought it was something nice. That's what I was thinking, but 25% here out in Austria, 18 laps, so it's quite a short track, so we're going to get quite a few laps here. And Mares, the man who had a LLP2 penalty, only had 5 minutes of his qualifying session and finished on pole here.
Two quick things, 1348 is the zip code of the Louvain-la-Neuve. I have no idea what that is. And actually, Tenais means come on, so Google Translate's broken.
Okay then. So all the drivers are lining up here now, and we're going to be ready. Thank you for 28 people who have joined us. Thank you so much.
Wow.
It's a lot of people. And yeah, make sure you go and check out the website. Go and check out Instagram and Twitter. I run those pages. Comment on them, whatever you like. Come say hi if you want to. I'll be there. But we're counting down here in Austria for round 2. And it's lights on the way we go. Mara's got an awful start, and Victor is taking the lead. An awful start there from Mares, and he's dropped all the way down the grid into 5th. RC8 getting a good start as well as he's trying to make a move on Victor. Guillaume not far behind. It's Julio behind him, then it's Mares, then Pope, then Siscon, then Tonios. Hampton and Tonio switching places here, and his drivers going wheel to wheel.
Down the inside.
It's Mares down the inside. What a move, but he was a bit of contact in there, maybe a bit of wing damage. Let's see if there was any damage. There wasn't any damage to his car, but it's a yellow flag. Someone hasn't started. It's Nitramus.
Siscon's made a nice move up into P8 there.
P8 there, but there was a diving move there. Pope taking over Victor, so Victor's falling down as well into 6th, and Victor's keep on falling as he got wing damage here, Victor. Oh, someone waved a diving bomb down. Who was that? It was Hampton. And he's got wing damage as well. Has Victor got wing damage here, Evan? I can't see.
I can't really see. We'll have a look as he's coming over the crest.
No, he doesn't have any wing damage. He's just running very, very slowly, all the way down in 8th position. And I believe there will be a couple of people coming in here with some wing damage. Yes, Devil's Angel has come in, and also the Whipmeister has also come into the pits as well.
Okay, Guillaume's around.
Guillaume has spun here, and he's all the way down as well, and he didn't pick up any damage.
Oh, Ellison nearly clips him though, very close from the 2.
Him.
Oh, down the inside goes Victor.
Victor down the inside. Oh, Ty's touching there between him and Siscon. Let's have a look here and see what they were putting in. Siscon, he's going to try and make the move, and Victor's going to see if he can go down the inside.
Oh, very close.
No, he doesn't. It's very close between the two drivers, but now Siscon not have that inside line.
Hampton's going to go try around the outside of he's a Frozer. He's got the move, but he's
gets the move done on Victor, and Frozer moving his way up the grid, getting past Hampton here, up into 8th position, and Mares had an absolutely awful start here, and dropped down all the way down into 5th, and then made a diving move all the way down inside of 3 drivers, made a little bit of contact, and got himself back up into 2nd position. And
the Whipmeister has seemingly made a whip stop, according to one of the. Is this going to be like the Thunder Puns? RC8 hit the back of Maris is the back of RC8.
was close. They did. They made contact. Is RCA got any damage? RCA does have damage. He's got front right damage. RCA has got front right damage there. So Mares may have to come into the pits earlier than he suspected. It's Julio's not far behind him here. Neither is the Pope. And it's very tight between all the drivers at the moment in these first 3 laps of this race.
That's the second race, according to Connor Palmer. Here we go. That's the second race. Someone has boilers into Wib in a row now. Dangerous driving, if you ask me. Need to penalise that. So we have our home steward commenting. Like a backseat driver, really, but Hope has got a 3-second penalty. And Brucey's dropped to 9th.
Brucey has dropped to 9th. Guillaume getting around Victor. And what has happened to Victor here? He's come into the pits. I don't know if he has damage or whether he's just pitting here, but... And
these comments are getting a bit much, saying Wibby and Pope used to be in a relationship, so...
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure I can guarantee...
We will not.
I'm pretty sure I can guarantee... I think I can guarantee that's false, as I'm pretty sure they're not even from the same country.
I mean, they could be.
I know.
As I said, we will not dive into that.
We are not going into that, as Tonios is actually on the back of Pope.
Let's have a look here. And Ellison coming out here in the middle of Whitmeister and Victor.
Oh, the inside goes Tonios. Oh, sorry to overcut you there, but that was nearly a lovely move.
It's fine, it's just a tight gap now at the back. So there's the back 4 drivers, 24 seconds behind everyone else, but they're really tight. And then we've got a tight gap here between 1st and 10th in the top 10, very close to each other as well.
These comments are getting too much, saying Wib is too old for the Pope, over 16.
Okay, we will just...
we're just leaving that here.
Yeah,
we're not even commenting on that.
We're not even gonna. These drivers are very close here. 4th to 7th.
Mares going down the inside!
Is he gonna get the move done? And he's made the move and he got the pass Mares and he's back up into 1st position. Brilliant pass there by Mares down the inside at the top of the hill. And he's got the inside line again, Mares. But RCA, it's going for an outside line. Can he get it? And he will now have the inside line coming into this next corner here. So RCA could get the move done here. He's going to take the inside line. But it's going to be... No, he's run onto the gravel. And he's gone very far onto the gravel. And he has now moved down. He needs to be careful re-entering the track here. He needs to be careful re-entering the track there, as he almost went into a few drivers. And Mares has now retaken the lead.
Nah, these comments are getting way too much. If you get a chance to read the chat, I'm not even saying that. The commotion
going on at the back as Ellison has spun out here.
Julio's into the pits.
It's Julio has come in. So he is coming for his scheduled one and only pit stop, I believe, of this race, and has gone into the set of mediums, a 3-second time penalty for Hampton.
If you do get a chance to read the chat, please do, because I am not reading that out.
Just be careful what you're saying in the chat, guys.
Please, that's too much. Please. You cannot say.
Please, just be careful what you say.
Oh dear. Connor Palmer. Siscon's looking to make a move on Tonios for P3.
Tonios being attacked very hard here from the back from Siscon. And Frozer isn't far behind the two either.
I'm sorry, I have to remove. Have you seen the chat? Did you see that message? Connor Palmer, because I can't remove it, but
is it different Connor Palmer?
Connor Palmer, it's just above Javi and Hatet. I'll concentrate.
There's no way you just ignore it. Just ignore it.
Oops.
Just ignore it and focus on the race.
But please,
be professional.
Is left. Yeah, I'm just going to say, please stop the comments. Snapler has excited. It's a family stream. There could be anyone watching.
Someone just went down the inside, and it's Siscon.
And Frozer.
And Frozer's right behind them as well. Oh, there's contact, and he's gone straight into the wall. That was a clear push from Siscon.
Tonios.
Was that
RCA going to look to make a move?
Was that that looked to be a clear push from Siscon into the wall. I'm not sure whether it was.
That was definitely a swipe. Oh no! RC8's getting involved.
RC8's getting involved now, as RC8, I believe, hasn't pitched, so he's fallen all the way down the grid. I don't know if he's got damage. Him and Siscon, however, do have the same, him and Siscon, I think, have the same liveries here, actually, so let's not get them too confused.
Mares is in.
Mares has come in. And Siscon has also come in, and so has Tonios. And RC8 has also come in as well, so quite a few drivers pitting now. Lap 8 of this race out of 18, 10 more laps to go.
Very quick at first 8 laps, very action-packed.
Has been very action-packed from the drivers, and have to see whether we can get an action-packed race all the way through.
The first 2 have been quite good, but we still have a good bit to go. Does Gavra watch the streams?
Okay, well, I believe we weren't, but I'm not sure if that's a joke or not.
Yeah, I think Gavra needs to come on and start monitoring some of these. That is just... Anyways, we'll keep professionalism as... If you look, Bruce, he's all the way up to 4th. He does have to make a pit stop, I believe, but still good racing. Somebody saying show us the pit stops. Frozer is making a pit stop now, so is Pope.
Show us the pit. You want to see? We'll see Pope's pit stop. Let's watch him come in here as he's going on to the medium set of tyres, and there he goes. Frozer also coming in, and Gaoming as well has also come in. He's going to come in here. Let's have a look. Have a look from another angle there at the pit stop. Very nice. Hampton picks up a 5-second time penalty for speed in the pit lane. It's unfortunate for Hampton. It all happens to the best of us. Oh, he's coming for a wing change, actually. I think he's may have had a bit of contact at some point. Galeman just coming out the pits onto the medium tyres. It seems like everyone's coming onto a medium strategy. Bruzy here is still on the soft tyre, but I believe he'll probably come in on this lap.
And everybody apart from Bruzy now on the mediums with Victor on the hards. But still not very many penalties is another thing to notice. We've had a good few warnings, but we actually have not too many penalties considering last season. Of course it is strict corner cutting, but still quite good discipline from these drivers, as Bruzy is now pitting.
Quite the discipline, and I'm not sure whether that was a push there from Siscon. I've managed to cut that directly on camera, but we'll have to see whether it was or not.
And we do have Techers AB saying it wasn't a clear push. I think his rear left collided with the left guy's front right, and saying he probably should have given more room, which I do agree with.
Yes, I'm not sure. I couldn't see the. It just looked like Siscon went veering into the right of. Into the right side of I can't remember who it was. Was it RCA? I can't remember who it was who was having a battle with. It was Siscon and Frozer and
RC8, I believe.
RC8 was it? Yes.
Oh no, it was Tonios.
Tonios, sorry. I think it was Tonios, possibly. I'm not too sure. We'll have to have a look at that. But someone's gone off in Sector 1. Someone's gone off in Sector 1. Devil's Angel's gone off in Sector 1. 30 people watching. Well. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for watching this Academy League. Fresh new drivers here. In round 2 here in Austria. It was Frozer, right? Okay.
It was Frozer.
And yeah, so Devil's Angel all the way at the back there. He's got damage, so I believe he will have to come into the pits. But it's Julio leading this race at the moment. But the Pope is attacking him from behind. Only 4 times behind him, so there's going to be a little bit of a battle up front here between these two drivers. It's Julio on a slower set of mediums. The Pope only done 2 laps on his. It'll be interesting to see what the battle goes on up here. 32 people, guys. Thank you. Just quickly put out there, make sure you go and check out Gavra Racing, the website. Just type in Gavra Racing, it'll come up straight away. Go and check out the Instagram page and the Twitter page. I run both of those. Go and check out
here comes Pope.
And the Pope
Sorry
was
to
right
cut off-
behind him. It's fine. I've got my eyes on this battle constantly. And
Sorry to cut over the plug, but Pope is looking to go for a move.
Pope's looking for a move here, and he's very close behind. It's Julio. So there's a battle going on here, and I'll quickly finish off my my plug here. Yeah, go and check out Instagram and Twitter. I run both of those. Comment on any posts that you like. Go direct message me with any questions that you may have about Gavra Racing, and I will answer them for you. And you know, go and check out all the posts we post about when the races are going to happen, what the next races are, and anything else that happen. Gavra Racing. Pope's going down the inside, and he's got the pass on. It's Julio. Brilliant pass there from the Pope.
Now look at Mares.
It's Julio is now attacking. It's Julio's now being attacked by Mares.
Mares sporting a very Renault 2007-esque livery. I would say I quite like it.
It's a very nice livery, and Mares is right behind It's Julio. Look how close he is behind him. And oh, he had to brake very hard there as It's Julio took that corner.
Very close battling between the pair as Mares is coming up round this third sector. If he can get a good leapfrog exit off this final corner, he'll definitely get down the DRS straight as we do look. Swings the car in, doesn't want to get on that curb too much. Now
someone's coming in. It's Devil's Angel came in for his damage that he had on his car.
He did 10 laps on those mediums as well. That's a decent stint.
That is a decent stint. I believe
as Mares has hit the back of Julio.
Mares hit the back of Julio. Mares has got damage, front right damage on Mares' car. So Mares may have to make another pit stop here. And this battle is going on as It's Julio's trying to defend, but Mares, with the pace that he has managed to get past It's Julio, but he does have front right wing damage.
He did that at the top of that hill as well, battling for P1. That's the second time Mares...
Oh, it's Julio's fighting back as they're going wheel to wheel, but Mares keeps the position there. Going wheel to wheel there, both drivers. And yeah, just finish up my plug and go and check out the Patreon. Go support the Patreon. Go and put some money into it. Go and support this league, because all it will do is just make this league go bigger and bigger. We will expand to new games, make new leagues, get more streams, and it will be glorious. And oh, it's Julius having a lot of oversteer there, but yeah, make sure go and check out all of those different things, guys, and tune in tomorrow at the same time of 8:30 or I think it's 9:30 CET for the Freshman League, which I will be joined by Toussaint tomorrow. We will be back here in Austria for the drivers who were in the Academy League last season.
And Dimitris Vorlakas, I really hope I'm pronouncing that right. If I'm not, I'm very sorry. Saying Pope has wing damage too, or is he wrong? I believe you could be right. I'm not really sure.
I will have a look at him. I can't see any visible wing damage unless he's got damage that we can't see.
It's possible with this game.
It is possible, yes. He may have damage, so Pope it may not be as extensive damage to come into the pits. If he does have damage, but or it may be extensive enough that we can't see it, so we'll have to see. Mares, you can see the wing damage. You can see his front left. I don't know what you call that there, Evan. Do you know what you call that? The little wing on the front of the wing, the little side part.
The winglet. The little winglet.
Is that the winglet? Is that what it's called?
I believe it is.
He's missing that, so that usually shows quite a hefty bit of. That's how they show quite a hefty bit of damage on the front wing. That's how they show it. But I can't see any on Pope's car at the moment. We'll have to see whether he does come into the pits.
But he seems to be continuing, and of course people saying he could go up too. He certainly hasn't, but he could be about to be attacked by Mares, who is really, really gaining and pulling away from It's Julio, even with that bit of front wing damage, which is very impressive from the pole sitter. It's called an end plate. It's an end plate. I knew it wasn't a winglet. It's an end plate.
End plate.
Thank you to bro Alex 1234 for correcting me. I knew it wasn't a winglet, but it's an end plate.
The winglet didn't sound very technical, Evan. That was my issue with it. It didn't sound very technical.
Yeah, I knew I was wrong there, but we will battle on. As look at Mares, how much he's gaining up Pope.
And yeah, there's a battle here at the back as well for 7 and 8 between Siscon and Tonio. It's the two guys who are having a battle towards the start of this race are very close to each other as well. But let's keep an eye up front here as Mares, with his front right wing damage, lost an end plate here, is now attacking on the first place leader, the Pope.
Very late into the brakes on Mares, but gets it stopped, and he has did that on many laps. And neither of these have a penalty, I believe. We will confirm that for you now.
Yeah, just have a look at the penalties and we'll see what...
Pope has one.
Pope has a penalty. Is it 3 seconds?
Oh, so does Mares. They both have 3-second penalties.
So at the moment, it's Julio would win the race. If it's Julio can keep within 3 seconds of both drivers, I believe Julio has 3 penalties. One being 5 seconds. It is an even battle of the front 3 at the moment. So we'll have to see who will come out on top here.
Penalties really do decide these races.
And it's Julio has done 10 laps on the medium tyre. So we'll have to see how he fares. The likes of Bruzy and Victor on the hard tyre I've got a good option there because they'll be able to run to the end of this race. There are only 2 laps remaining, actually. We have to run to the end of this race with no problem at all. Mares is gaining. He's got the fastest first. He hit the back of the Pope.
Oh,
and the Pope has gone flying off. Now, I'm not sure whether that'll be looked at as an incident.
Penalty. The Pope has got a 10-second penalty.
Did the Pope get a penalty because of that?
10 seconds for a corner cut.
I'm not sure whether that will. I'm sure that'll be looked at, but I'm not. Does the Pope doesn't have any damage, but Mares will have extensive damage now on the front. Actually, went colliding again into the back of Pope.
Mares didn't even get a penalty first.
That's interesting. I'm sure that'll be looked at by Gavra here, and I'm sure penalties will be given out as they were for last week's race. But we are coming around to the final lap now. Mares, it's Julio picks up another 3-second time penalty, so it's Mares is leading this race now. It'll be a chance of the Pope. He doesn't have any damage. Mares has damage, so he'll be trying to make the advantage of that as he's going to try and fly up the straight and he'll have DRS. Gale gets past Frozer, but Frozer's going to be trying to attack back at him. See how close Frozer is behind him. Frozer has the slipstream, but Gaoming has DRS. So I don't think there'll be any... Gaoming runs really wide there into the wall, and Frozer gets his position back. And the Pope just seems to be falling back.
Xavier Maynard in the comments saying there was no room on the inside, a silly move, and saying he's really disappointed in Mares there. That was ridiculous. And I do have to agree with you. Dimitri's Vorlagas saying he must give the position back. But Pope won't win this race because he does have a 10-second penalty. But Mares definitely should give the position back.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll be looked at by Gavra, and if he believes that Pope should have won this race, then he will give the points to Pope, whether he was in the position or not. Mares has come round in first. And he has won this race after he qualified first, finished first. Good race on Mares, showing very good pace.
Frozer gets on the podium and Gaoming
gets on the podium, and so does Gaoming. Both drivers, because the Pope had 10 seconds, it's Julia had 6 seconds. So
he finishes the 6th.
Frozer and Gaoming get onto the podium here due to penalties. So what a finish we had there. And Mares, whether the penalties have been given or not, potentially may not win this race. So it will be interesting to see whether Pope gets given the first, and whether Frozer and Gaoming keep their spots on the podium.
Definitely, in my opinion, I think that win should be handed to Pope because he would have won the race.
He would have potentially won the race, and just run you through quickly on how actually what LLP means. So typically, they get level 1 and is like a minor incident, and level 2 plus is for a more serious incident. So LLP 0 is no penalty. So these are on the driver's licenses, so they'll pick these up throughout the season. LLP 1 is a limited qualifying duration of 10 minutes. LLP2 is a limited qualifying duration of 5 minutes. LLP3 is a qualifying ban. LLP4 is a qualifying ban for 2 races.
Oh wow, that's...
LLP5 is a race suspension, and LLP6 is a championship disqualification here.
You don't want to be picking up some LMP6s any day soon.
Definitely.
But Mara's definitely might get an LMP. Might get an LLP3 at least.
Potentially. So we'll see.
Oh wow! Look at those penalties.
So the Pope and it's Giulio had 14 seconds worth of penalties. The Pope had 13, which is why they moved so far down the grid. So it's Mares in first, Frozer in second. Quite a few penalties here. These drivers really need to keep clean here in these races. So Mares first, Frozer in second, Gailming in third, Pope in fourth, RCA in fifth, it's Giulio in sixth, Sixcon in seventh, Tonio's in eighth, Bruzy in ninth, Victor in 10th, Hampton 11th, Ellison in 12th, Widmeister in 13th, Devil's Angel in 14th, and Nitramus, who is the only DNF of this race, is down in 15th position. And a very exciting race there, a lot of penalties. These drivers do need to keep it clean. I'm sure
what the Academy is there for, as pointed out by Pierrick 1999, who is actually one of our Formula 1 drivers in this league. Not sure what league he races in now, but he was in the Premier Series, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he was.
Who's this? Who is this in the chat? Sorry?
Pierrick.
Pierrick. Ah, Pierrick, yes. I do know Pierrick.
Probably saying that.
He is
saying that very wrong.
No, it is. It's Pierrick. I believe Pierrick is in the Premier Series. But yes, thank you everyone for joining us. We had quite a lot of people in there. We had 32 people in the stream at one point. So thank you so much. And yes, Frozer did get on the podium. As this guy screaming Frozer in the chat.
Super Games. He was actually, I believe he was the first person to say go Frozer. I'm just going back up the chat.
So a Frozer fan there in the chat. But whether Frozer will keep that podium, we don't know. We'll have to see how the points are given out because of how the penalties were and the collision that happened at the end of that race. But thank everybody for joining us. Once again, go check out Twitter, Instagram. Go support the Patreon. Go check out the Gavra Racing website. We do Dirt Rally. We do
a lot of project
F1.
cars.
We do a lot of project cars. A lot of F1 as well, actually. I think we do more F1 than project cars now.
Yeah.
I think we do.
Of course,
F1, project cars, Dirt Rally. We do. I think we do GE Sport at some point. We are planning some Rainbow Six if we can get people for it.
Rainbow Six?
Yeah.
And seemingly coming up, we might have a commentator's race to look forward to.
We might have a commentator's race. You'll see. Hopefully, maybe see me and Evan in it. If there's a commentator's race, would you be joining us in the commentator's race, Evan?
Certainly would be.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us, and we will see you all next week, which I cannot remember the track that we're in. Oh my god.
We are racing around one of the Formula 1's finest circuits, and you will find that out next week.
Oh, I could just have a look at the calendar now. We are racing around. We are in Germany next week. Week. So join us on the 29th of April, and we will be in Germany. Thank you everybody for watching, and we will see you all next week.
Goodbye.